Om Akandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam Darshidam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurumritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Parabrahm Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha. So, I'm again going to speak because I have to speak. The best option is not to speak, but that I am not Dakshinamurti and you are not those who sat around you. You know Dakshinamurti story, right? He just sat under a banyan, this is a peepal tree, under a banyan tree, huh? And didn't speak a word, not a word. Just put up his hand like this. And all the people who had gathered around, the students, oh, can hear you? Sunai de raha hai kya? No, in this side I have some dangerous people. They can't hear, they'll make a big noise. So, yeah, so since I'm not Dakshinamurti and I'm not the rishis who are sitting there listening, who didn't require a word. All he did was this, the blessing. They got it. But nobody is getting it, so I have to keep on speaking. Maybe if I was Dakshinamurti, would have all got it. Who knows? Possible. So, let me tell you what Dakshinamurti was trying to convey. One, what you seek is absolute silence. Words cannot convey. Yat vachana bhyutitam, right? Which words can convey, define, do nothing. So, better to keep quiet. Two, to understand that which is absolute silence requires no words. It's understood in silence. But of course, the broadcaster and the receiver must be sensitive that one doesn't have to utter a word. It is understood. And what was the symbol Dakshinamurti was conveying? 1, 0, Shunya. Which means no thing, not nothing. It's not a thing. Problem is when the mind settles down quietly, it's about to be absorbed into that. It is not a thing. I'm not saying nothing, but no thing. Please understand clearly. Which means it's not a thing which can be carried, which can be put in the bank, which can be taken off. It's nothing. That thing, sometimes in rare movements, we all have that. Very rare moments. Sometimes not even when you're meditating. When you're doing nothing. Vijnana Bhairav says that when you're about to sneeze and then when you finish sneezing, it is there. But then it gets taken over by various things afterwards. One split second and then it's taken over. It's like, sorry to use this expression, I hope it's not bad. If you had 6 days of constipation, And then one day you had some liquid paraffin. You're sitting in the pot, in your throat, everything is gone. Nothing. Just a worldly example. It's like that. When everything is shunted out, and there is nothing left, you're khali and empty. But then immediately there itself you are planning, tomorrow what should we put in the sambar? This is the problem. Everything is going peacefully, then I bring about my own violence into it. Then I invent something. The mind is an expert in inventing images, things. Then it gets into the picture. Cannot sit in silence. Or when the mind is just settling. No, this cannot be. We have to do Bala Tripura Sundari. That is also meant for this, but then you got it in like a block. This is what Dakshinamurti is trying to convey. Stay. Now, if somebody is there, this symbol, Akasha Mudra, Chin Mudra, it's called Chin Mudra, is also a symbol that you and the world are not different. They are the same. You too, you and I are not other, not different. We are the same. Thumb represents me. Right? This is the one we always, who do you think I am? Just give a slap to somebody. Who do you think I am? And this usually we used to say you. This world, this person, this baby sitting here. Not baby, she is grown up quite a bit. Others. So the picture is in Chin Mudra. And this become one. In the aspect of Shunyata. Don't think Shunya is nothing. One can become 1 crore with 7 Shunyas. Otherwise, it will only remain one. In fact, when people think of millions and billions, they're actually going towards Shunya. Zero. Peace of mind, life, everything is finished. So anyway, it's nice to be finished. So that, and now when that happens, when you and I become one, please don't take it literally. Live in dangerous times. So this happens. Now I've seen this happen. People are so nice, so calm and quiet, and then suddenly somebody comes and gives them an idea. Why don't you do this? Why? Do this. They do it. Then do this. Then do this. Soon they are sitting inside a heap of gold. The gold is so heavy they can't even move their heads. Seen this happen. But it usually happens when you're on the verge of finding it. Anyway, so if this happens, according to the Chin Mudra of Dakshinamurti, what remains? Sat, Chit and Ananda, that's all. This when he conveyed by a symbol, everybody got understood. But that everybody were not normal. We're all great rishis sitting in a, they grasped it immediately without a word. Now we have to say words. And what is Sachidananda? Sat. the truth, the reality, as opposed to asat. Asato ma sadgamaya is the prayer. Take me from the unreal to the real. So unreal means what? That which is here today and gone tomorrow. Please, that includes him. Here today, after some years, gone. Everybody. Not a single person will be left behind. Don't compare Babaji. It's for a special purpose. It's not common. So, Sat, that which always is, therefore called Satya. And Chit, to distinguish it from inanimate matter, that it is conscious. Chit, it is mind, it is conscious, it has consciousness. It's not a jada. And its intrinsic quality, which need not come from anywhere. What is in it, part of it, the very essence of it is Ananda, which is happiness, which actually we seek and never find. How many times we fail to find, still we'll search for it only in the muck. We will not look for it in the inner source. When this three is understood, when this symbol is understood, everything is understood. So the rishis who saw this presence smiled and absorbed themselves in the bliss of the Supreme Being, which is none other than their own true essence. Not their true essence, your true essence. If it is my true essence, it cannot be only my true essence. It has to be everybody's essence. Right? It's the Devata that sits inside us in the heart. And you can't fool it because it knows before you know, knows before you think. The other day I was talking to a neurologist who told me that half a minute before we think, it's already been thought of in the brain. When we think, we think. How is this possible? Because I am thinking on my own volition. So, that was the symbol. Now, why is it that if it is so simple, we are not able to grasp it? Because we have made ourselves too complicated. We think we can solve everything using the grey matter which is in our head. Yes, we can solve most things, but not this. This too much of grey matter, well, we all have too much of grey matter. When it becomes too much, it becomes cancer. You know that, right? What is cancer? Does it have a virus? Or does it have a bacteria? What is it? Cancer simply means, I hope medical people are here, correct me, is that every human cell has a built-in signal which says enough. Enough. Which means it says, now this is the growth over, finish. There is a code which directs the end of production. When from the genes, that becomes missing, nobody knows how or why, it grows and becomes a cancer. That's what is a cancerous growth? Simply that particular group of cells have forgotten the code to stop multiplying. This is cancer. There is no infection of any kind. It's not multiplying. It keeps on multiplying without stopping. This is cancer. It is the same thing in the human mind. When when they switch for saying, okay, but it never happens because nothing is enough, right? Why? Because the deep down the mind knows that there is something which is our true essence, which is beyond any definitions, which is always full. Purnamada, Purnamidam. So forgetting, not knowing that it is something else which is different, to which you have to turn around and look, not look this way. The mind keeps on multiplying, so the mind becomes cancerous. What is the way to cut it off? You have to take off the whole tumor. Along with that, some organs also go. That's all right. There's no other way. Unless there is some mechanism by which the code adjusts itself. Just stop. Rare, but can happen. So this is what he was trying to teach. Now, I said, why is it that if it is so, why everybody is not able to feel or understand? It's because, one, we are not ready to learn. We have interests which are manifold, and not only that, one-pointed wanting to understand that is not existing. Well, you can be spiritual, yes, like I have everything, but I had one rose of spiritual also into my buttonhole. Nowadays, there is this discussion in parties. At one time it was about heart attacks. How is your heart? Oh, my heart is fine. My heart is beating. And now the dialogue has shifted. Do you have a guru? Yes, I have a guru. And what does he teach you? He teaches me how to become rich. Not internally. So, the reason why we don't find it, if it's right here, it's not far away. It's my inner self. It is my essence. Why am I not finding it? One is, I have too many other interests than that. That is not my main interest, even though I would like to think so. And two, because I am caught in moving in the wrong direction, thinking what I seek is outside. I'm not able to turn inward. These are the two reasons. So, the same thing happens somewhere else. I'll tell you, Guru Purnima, so Guru and disciple. I'm going to tell you of a human disciple of a divine Guru, very big divine Guru. More than anything else, the Lord of Death, Yama. Now, what better Guru can you get? Which great teacher can you get? Who is Yamadeva, the Lord of Death, who lives in his realm, wherever, and who nobody can trick. You think you have tricked and going this way, it's there. Ah, hello. So there was a great rishi by name Vajashravasa. This is from the Kathopanishad. Vajashravasa had only one son, a very sharp, intelligent little son, whose brain and mind was very clear, who was still not caught up in the, what we call the flavor of life. And one day, the great Vajashravasa performed a sacrifice, a yajna, homa yajna. Hundreds of people came to attend it. And what was his aim? His aim was, he wanted to become the ruler of the whole world. Rishis can also think like that sometimes. Called the Vishwajit Yajna. Vishwajit, winning the universe. He performed it. This little boy of his was only 8 years old. And his name was Nachiketas. Please understand the word Nachiketa. Na Chiketa, one who does not know. Na Chiketa, one who does not know. So the beginning of Nachiketa's spiritual journey starts with I do not know. Well, everybody knows everything. This is the problem. Everybody knows. Nowadays there are more gurus than disciples. Everybody knows. Here was Nachiketa who didn't know. He was still fresh in mind. He says, I don't know. Let me figure out. And the Upanishad declares, he who knows, knows not. And he who knows not, knows. Not tongue twisting. So, this little Nachiketas was standing there, wondering. He says, I don't know what is happening. Why? Because after the yajna, his father, the great Vajashravasa, was giving gifts to the Brahmanas who had come to perform the yajna. And what was he giving? Old cows who had no milk, lame cows who were tottering, blind cows who could not see, cows who had no milk, barren, no chance of producing. These were the gifts he was giving to the Brahmanas. Poor Nachiket, at 8 years of age, looked at this and said, what hypocrisy is this? My father is performing a sacrifice, a homa, to gain the universe, Vishwajit. And what is he giving in return as gifts for the sacrifice? Useless things, which has no use for him. He says, give it to the Brahmanas. So, Shraddha entered him. Shraddha means differently translated. Some people say faith. I think it's more than faith. Shraddha is faith in one's discrimination. So saying this, he had to ask him. He asked his father, Dad, well, he didn't say Dad, what is this that you do? Giving away such useless things as the gifts to Brahmanas who have done this whole Vishwajit Yajna. Then he asked him a question which probably pained Vajashravasa. He said, I am your dearest and nearest. Right? You love me the most. I think so. Who will you give me to as a gift for the sacrifice? Who will you give me to? He didn't stop with asking once. He asked 3 times. Who will you give me to? Who will you give me to? So they say that Vajashravasa got upset and said, I give you away to death. I don't agree with that commentary. There are a couple of commentaries. If at all M writes a commentary, it will be different. I think Vajashravasa, still being very close to his son, decided that the only answer he will get is from the Lord of Death, to be free. So he said, I give you away to death. So now Vajashravasa was a great rishi already. He probably had never said a word of untruth in his life. You know something? Thakur Sri Ramakrishna used to say that if you don't tell a single lie in your life for 12 years, not your life, for 12 years, even what you say will come true. 12 years. 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 12 So immediately Nachiketas reached the gates reached the city of the Lord of Death, Yamadeva. And Yamadeva was caught by surprise. Even Yamadeva was caught by surprise. He had gone somewhere else to collect some souls. When Nachiketas suddenly reached there, it was a sudden happening. So Nachiketas went into the Yamadeva's waiting room in his office and sat for 3 days till he returned. When he returned, Yamadeva was very unhappy, very sad, very touched. He said, "What is this? This brahmachari with a shining face, son of a great rishi, he has come to my house. 3 days he has been sitting here. The Vedic rule is Atiti Devo Bhava. Guest is God. He is not. I haven't even asked him, did you have some water? Did you have some food?" It's terrible. So Yama came to him and said, "Look, my dear, I'm so sorry. As a compensation for these 3 days of waiting, where I didn't serve you in any way, ask me for 3 boons." You know what are boons, right? Boons. Varam. So, ask me for 3 varams, and I shall give it to you in compensation for the 3 days that you waited without even a drop of water from me. Now, one more thing you can note on the side. Even Yama, the Lord of Death, has remorse that a guest is not fed. Remember this. Even if the guest is your enemy, the Vedic rule is ask him, "Are you thirsty?" Seat him. Then say, "Okay, now we ask me, what do you want?" If you have good filter coffee, give him some. So he said, "Okay, ask me for 3 boons." So Nachiketa, like a simple little boy, his first boon was, "Sir, I have come from my father who seems to be angry with me. Please, when I go back." That means what? He was sure he was going back from the kingdom of the Lord of Death. Otherwise, why would he ask that question? So when I go back, may my father not be angry with me. May he welcome me happily, recognize me as his son. That is the first boon I ask of you. Yamdeva said, "Easily done. Done. Given." Second boon. They say that there is a world called heaven where people are not troubled by you visiting often. Where people live happily. Can you teach me that sacrifice by which one can reach there? He said, "Done." And he taught him what is known as the Nachiketas sacrifice, which starts with how to arrange the firewood in the solar plexus. And then we leave it there as a mystery. We gave him the boon. And then he said, "Not only that, I am giving you an additional boon." What is that? From now on, this sacrifice will be named as the Nachiketas sacrifice all over, wherever people know about this. So I've given you an extra boon. I think he was trying to see if the third boon is coming or not. Lord of Death knows everything. If the Lord of Death is someone who knows when you're dying, then he must be knowing everything else. So he waited. Nachiketas hadn't forgotten. He said, what about the third boon? See, third boon, yes. What do you want? He said, some say that when the body dies, everything is over. Mechanism. Some say there is something that exists forever, even when the body goes. So the third boon is there something which is immortal in me, which is never born and therefore cannot die. Is there something in me? And if it is, how do I find it? Can you teach me this? Now Yama said to himself, now this is a tough question. Even the Lord of Death, he said, hello, great rishis have asked this question and not got answers. Can you ask some other boon? I'll easily give it to you. Don't ask me this boon. Nachiketa said, no, sir. This is exactly, if you are saying it is so difficult, it must be so valuable, then I might try something else. He said, I will give you all the wealth that Kubera has. Very easy for me. Very easy. You can go to Kubera and say, tomorrow you're going to die. Give all your wealth. Give you all that Kubera has, the Lord of wealth. I will give you, make you the king of all the Tripura, 3 worlds. Full power. Not only over a small company, but huge. I will give you that. And I will also give you, now this is interesting, anybody would have fallen, dancing girls and orchestras and elephants. I mean, those days elephants, to tie an elephant at your gate is like having a S-class Mercedes. You elephants, not one. I give you all these. Don't ask me for this, please. Set me free from this promise that I told you. Now here is the point. Says Nachiketas, if what you are trying to give me is so difficult to give, and you are refusing to give it, you are substituting it with all these things. You are telling me you can make solar panels which can collect more sun and things like that. I don't want any damn thing. I do not want. I want only that, to know if there is an immortal essence in me, which is never born and therefore will never die, and therefore that I am the conqueror of the world. What more do I want? I don't want any of these. I refuse to accept. Say yes or no, but you have promised to. I am saying, if I tell somebody comes to me and holds my feet, I want only the supreme, the peace. And I say, okay, I will give you the keys to $1 billion company. Take it. It's mine, you use it. How many people will say, sir, you please keep it with you? Give me only that. How many? The thing is, in the bargain, people tend to forget that if you touch that, which is the innermost essence of your being, which is forever, and which is your true identity, it's that which the Vedas declared as Tattvamasi, then it's so foolish. Aren't the rest of the things at your command? You may not desire it, but what is necessary will come. I've seen great sages who have despised everything, given up even physically. Since they were not married, there is not even a family. But whatever is essential for them, it's somehow looked after. Why? Because they are sitting at the essence of being. That being knows what he needs and what he does not need. Very often, what we need is different from what we want. So this is the reason why we find it hard to approach, because we think if I get this, it is okay. That is the essence of one's being. One, that we are afraid that it will become nothing. But nothing, that nothing is better than all the somethings put together. And two, the greed keeps us holding on. And therefore, we reject what is solid and go after ephemeral things. And it goes on and on and on and on. There's no stop. And let me tell you this, to find that, you don't have to run away from, well, I did run away from home, but you don't have to run away from home. You don't have to neglect your family. It depends. If you want your family to sit on golden thrones, that is different. You need not neglect your families. You need not give up your job. You need not do you don't have to change your robes. You don't have to cut your hair in a particular style. You have to do nothing. You have to just put interest into this and say, this is my one pointed moment. I will not agree for any other gift, even if Yama is ready to give it to me. And then you see, you have defeated Yama. Yama can no longer come and say, come on. You'll say, where? Go where? I'm all for waiting. This is the message for Guru Purnima. So, I'm not asking you, say, don't sell your houses, don't sell your car, don't do any such thing. But direct your interest into something that is permanent. And it will be wonderful if there is a couple who both are thinking along the same line. This is what I'm trying hard to get to. Because otherwise it becomes, one is pulling this way, one is pulling this way. It's a tussle. I agree. If you have partners who are good, either they are interested in the spiritual path, or at least they are silent and say, oh, he's mad, let him go. Or she is mad, let her go. If this is there sufficient, you can still move forward. So this Guru Purnima, you're welcome to come to all Guru Purnimas. I'm not saying don't come. But keep serious things in mind. Huh? That's all I wanted to say. I have a question. Do you seriously think we should have Guru Purnima every year? No, very serious question. Don't say like fun. Huh? Should I sit here for 3 hours like this every year? Sometimes I wonder. The only thing that keeps me going is that perhaps some seeds are sown. Something might come up. Some seeds at least. And it's not as if people who have known me for many years have attained moksha. Please, no, don't misunderstand. May not have. Maybe a person who sees me for the first time might have found it. Who knows? Right? So, there was a flower seller who used to live with Nityananda Bhagavan. I'm talking about Avaduta, not living a flower seller who used to live with Nityananda Bhagavan. And All his life he lived with him. He was still only a flower seller. He didn't get anything. So there may be many people living with me, but on the other hand, we have cases of some people who just went to Nityananda and he looked at him and gave him a very nice, beautiful gali in Marathi. And he went away and became an avaduta. Can't say. Unfortunately, I'm not an expert in this gali. He was very good. So there we are. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti. Now I want to attend the Arati in the temple. After the Arati, then we will come here and then we will have pranams. And also I think there is some cultural program. Please, whoever has power, stop the rain. Clouds have come. They all come to me always. Sir, Narayana Hari. Okay. Shanti. People tree looks very nice in the screen. All good people are here. So, we will chant Om a few times and then we will meditate quietly for some time and perhaps then you will feel what Dakshinamurti. So, let's chant. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग्। नारायण हरि। ओम शांति शांति।